16. The Gracious One's sickness. Then the Gracious One, after living near Ambapali's wood for as long as he liked, addressed Venerable Ānanda, saying, "Come, Ānanda, let us approach the little village of Belua." "Very well, Reverend Sir," Venerable Ānanda replied to the Gracious One. Then the Gracious One, together with a great community of monks, entered the little village of Belua. There the Gracious One lived near the little village of Belua. There the Gracious One addressed the monks, saying, "Go, monks, and undertake the rains retreat in the vicinity of Vesali, living like friends, like companions, like comrades, and I will spend the rains retreat right here at the little village of Belua." "Very well, Reverend Sir." And those monks, after replying to the Gracious One, undertook the rains retreat in the vicinity of Vesali, living like friends, like companions, like comrades. But the Gracious One spent the rains retreat right there at the little village of Belua. Then, while dwelling for the rains retreat, a heavy affliction arose for the Gracious One, and continued with strong and death-like feelings. There the Gracious One dwelt mindfully with full awareness and without being troubled. Then this occurred to the Gracious One: "It is not suitable that I, without having addressed my attendants, without having given notice to the community of monks, should attain final emancipation. Having energetically dismissed this affliction, I could live on after determining the lifespan." Then the Gracious One, having energetically dismissed that affliction, lived on after determining the lifespan. Then the Gracious One's affliction abated. Then the Gracious One, having risen from that sickness, not long after rising, departed from the sick room, and sat down on the prepared seat in front of that room. Then Venerable Ānanda approached the Gracious One, and after approaching and worshipping the Gracious One, he sat down on one side. While sitting on one side, Venerable Ānanda said this to the Gracious One: "I have seen, Reverend Sir, the Gracious One comfortable. I have seen, Reverend Sir, the Gracious One bearing up while sick, and my body, Reverend Sir, became faint as it were, and although I could not see straight, and things were not clear, it appeared to me, Reverend Sir, that the Gracious One was sick. But it was some small comfort that the Gracious One would not attain final emancipation until the Gracious One had spoken regarding the community of monks." "But what, Ānanda, does the community of monks expect of me? The teaching has been taught by me, Ānanda, without having made a distinction between esoteric and exoteric. For the realized one there is nothing, Ānanda, of a closed teacher's fist in regard to the teaching. To whoever, Ānanda, this thought occurs, I will lead the community of monks, or I am the instructor of the community of monks, let him speak, Ānanda, regarding the community of monks. But to the realized one, Ānanda, this thought does not occur. I will lead the community of monks, or I am the instructor of the community of monks. Then why, Ānanda, should the realized one speak regarding the community of monks? I, Ānanda, at present am old, elderly, of great age, far gone, advanced in years. I am 80 years old. It is like, Ānanda, an old cart, which only keeps going when shored up with bamboo. Just so, Ānanda, I think the realized one's body only keeps going when shored up with bamboo. When the realized one doesn't pay attention, Ānanda, to any of the signs, when all feelings have ceased, he lives having established a signless mind concentration, and at that time, Ānanda, the realized one's body is most comfortable. Therefore, Ānanda, live with yourself as an island, yourself as a refuge, with no other refuge, with the teaching as an island, the teaching as a refuge, with no other refuge. And how, Ānanda, does a monk live with himself as an island, himself as a refuge, with no other refuge, with the teaching as an island, the teaching as a refuge, with no other refuge? Here, Ānanda, a monk dwells contemplating the nature of the body in the body, ardent, fully aware and mindful, after removing avarice and sorrow regarding the world. He dwells contemplating the nature of feelings in feelings, ardent, fully aware and mindful, after removing avarice and sorrow regarding the world. He dwells contemplating the nature of the mind in the mind, ardent, fully aware and mindful, after removing avarice and sorrow regarding the world. He dwells contemplating the nature of things in various things, ardent, fully aware and mindful, after removing avarice and sorrow regarding the world. Thus Ānanda, a monk, lives with himself as an island, himself as a refuge, with no other refuge, with the teaching as an island, the teaching as a refuge, with no other refuge. For whoever Ānanda, whether at present or after my passing, lives with himself as an island, himself as a refuge, with no other refuge, with the teaching as an island, the teaching as a refuge, with no other refuge, those monks of mine, Ānanda, will go from darkness to the highest. Whoever likes the training. The second chapter for recital is finished.